Okay, we are back for episode 4 of Impact Insights, the video series. And today we're sitting down with Jacob and Karina to talk about professional confidence. There are loads of resources available on topics like interviewing, networking, salary negotiation. But for some reason, professional confidence just really isn't talked about very much, which is kind of funny actually, because people with a healthy level of professional confidence are way more likely to engage in new challenges, go for that new job or promotion, and to take the steps required to really achieve their career goals. So our public practice team recently partnered with CPABC to host a workshop on building your professional confidence. So we figured who better to have join us for this episode than them. So welcome, guys. I'm so happy to have you here. I guess we'll just kick it off. Can you maybe give us just a quick rundown on what professional confidence is for anyone who isn't familiar, just so we're all on the same page about what we're talking about here?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take that question. Professional confidence, I'm sure for a lot of people, and it's such a topic that, as you were describing, Katie, that not a lot of people talk about, and it's a very subjective topic. For kind of through my own research and kind of through the presentation that we had over at the CPABC workshop, professional confidence, I think, is kind of that feeling of kind of self-assurance. It's feeling self-assured in kind of your abilities to handle kind of the stress, the competitiveness, the workload, whatever you need to do on your day-to-day tasks in the workforce. So it's just the ability to kind of feel that you're able to kind of conquer the day and get stuff done.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jacob. That like perfect description. There are a lot of it means a lot of things. So I like that you said that it's subjective because there isn't really a cut and dry definition of it. It means a different thing to everybody. So thank you for that. It definitely clears it up. I guess then a natural progression. So why? Why is professional confidence important in a workplace setting?
I can take that. Thanks.
Awesome, thanks.
So when you're starting to talk about confidence and talking about the workplace, it's really important to know where you're heading. Or if you are in a certain position and you want to get to management, senior management, you have to get to know yourself, get to know what are those skills that you're really good at or some skills that you might need some practice. And getting to know that might make you up for the promotion. If someone in a leadership position is looking for someone that has a great client communication skill, someone that knows how to give presentations, or just in general good in communication, and you feel like you might not be the best one, you might be missed for that promotion. And obviously, being confident about that skill and growing that skill might make you a great candidate for it, and being able to say, "This is me. This is what I stand for, and this is why I think I am great for the role." And things kind of progress that way. It's just like Jacob said, just getting to know yourself a lot more to be able to be confident about that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Karina. Obviously, there's a ton of different ways that people can work on building their own professional confidence. So, were you guys able to maybe just touch on a couple of those ways that you think are particularly helpful for someone who is looking to really cultivate that confidence in themselves?
For sure, I can touch upon that. There's definitely a ton of tips and tricks, and I'm sure there's many kind of articles that touch upon that and ways you can build it. The top two, that one that we discussed in the workshop, as well as ones that I've used myself in my personal life, is one of them is definitely evaluating your strengths and weaknesses. It's always good to kind of just do some self-reflection throughout your day and think. I like to think to myself, okay, Jacob, what are you good at? What are some things that you think you can bring to the table to a prospective employer? And what are things I don't like saying weaknesses, obviously, but what are things that I can improve on? What are some things that, yes, I haven't touched upon them or I don't have that much experience with? And then look at them and see how you can possibly make it into strengths. Figure out ways to, for example, with me with public speaking, throughout my time in high school and university, public speaking was not my strong suit. So kind of figuring out ways to, how can I do this? How can I make this a strength? How can I kind of go through that speech day in high school and go through it and get a good grade off of it? And for me, it was definitely kind of not only being able to present to my peers and my family, but also being able to kind of just first kind of evaluate and talk to myself in the mirror and be like, let's just go through this right now. Let's go through this speech and let's get it done. And kind of being able to kind of go through that practice is definitely a way that helped me and definitely improve. And that is why I'm in recruitment now. I'm in the people business, and I feel very confident now talking with others. Another thing that I can say, and I've already touched upon in kind of that example I went there, is definitely talking to friends, your peers, your family, because they're going through the same thing too. They're definitely thinking about, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and I would definitely kind of get their feedback and get their insight and be like, here's what I think, but what do you guys think? What do you think that, what values do I have that I think that I could bring to a prospective employer? So those are kind of the two tips and tricks that I've been using.
I find it very hard to believe that you were nervous about public speaking, Jacob. This is just, you are a natural.
Years in the making, trust me, many years.
You are both fairly recent graduates. I hope you're okay with me saying that. Have there been moments where you felt like, okay, I'm really not very confident in this? I guess Jacob, you did just touch on that was you with public speaking when you were younger. Um, and if so, the ways that you can push through that and really like be like, okay, I'm nervous right now, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna get through it. Is there any sort of personal experiences you'd like to share?
Yeah, no, of course. I think that there are multiple times in life when there's moments that you might not believe in the type of work that you're doing, if it's the right thing to do. Maybe the quality might not be the best. Like I was in a variety of clubs, and sometimes I had to post a bunch of content, and not a lot of people would see it. Especially pandemic, and a lot of university students might not the best ones are be responsive. So definitely a huge bump, be like questioning, oh, am I like, is what I do good enough? Is it going to be great? Is it going to reach out to a lot of people? And I think the way that you can build that confidence will be like, okay, so what am I missing? What do I need to do to get there? And that involved doing research. That involved talking to other peers and be like, can you check my content? What do you think? Is this like a bit lame? Am I being, like terrible with my content? Or is it maybe I'm not targeting the right audience? What is it? Where's my content that can improve? And slowly getting that feedback. And by the end of it, took like about 2 weeks to kind of figure out what was not the best one. But slowly, there was a lot of people like were actually replying to my post, to my messages, and that would make me really happy. And they made me believe my work again. But it's obviously putting yourself out there and challenge yourself. I think that will be one of the most important to for getting that confidence, because that means that as much as you are improving as a person, you're also trying to like stay on top of it and not let small challenges kind of get the worst of you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great example. I think that something that keeps coming up as well is that people can't expect their confidence just to go from here to here overnight. It does take practice and repetition, and really getting used to being in a situation that doesn't feel natural to you. So, both great examples. Jacob, did you want to share your other one or?
Yeah, I would love to share just another one, especially for those viewers who are still students and are attending things like networking events, kind of galas, dinners, and stuff like that. When I was in university, networking events was definitely one of the biggest things that I had the least confidence in, just because just going in and meeting people you don't know, meeting employers that you eventually kind of are looking into getting a job there, it's very daunting, and I totally understand that if people are feeling that way, right? So for me, kind of how I pushed through it was kind of one of the main things that with building professional confidence is you got to take risks. At the end of the day, you're not going to grow, you're not going to learn if you at least get a little bit out of your comfort zone and get out there and just do the best you can. And I know that sounds very cliche, but when I was going into networking events, beforehand, I would do stuff like just research on the company, research these people, go on LinkedIn, see what they're about, see what their interests are, see the culture of the company as well, and kind of what they're all about. And then also when speaking with those people, they're just human beings as well. I found it was best to first just talk about kind of their day. Build a little bit of rapport. You don't have to kind of go into brass tacks and talk about the position, talk about the firm. Ask how they're doing. Ask how their summer has been, or with fall coming up, if they have any plans for Halloween or any stuff like that, anything with their families as well. And then you can ask the questions kind of regarding the career path, the company, as well as the culture there. I feel like that was kind of helped me push through it and got me to connect with some really cool people. So that's definitely one example that I really wanted to put across just for those students out there that are wanting to go into networking events but are not feeling too confident about it. Take that chance.
I think that's great advice, Jacob. I myself have been at loads of networking events in my time. And something that you do see a lot from more junior people is they've got those nerves. They're nervous. So they get, okay, I'm gonna approach this person, this industry leader or whoever, and they're so nervous when they go up. It's just like you barely even get out a hello, and then it's like, so I went to school for this and I'm looking for a job. And like you're just like, oh buddy, you just dove right into that. It's definitely, it
Yeah.
definitely takes experience and just really getting more comfortable with doing it before you realize, okay, maybe that's not my best tactic. Maybe I could, talk about how good the shrimp is or the cheese plate, and then we can start talking about work. I think that's great advice that you wouldn't know if you haven't done it before. We're on to the last question already, and it's a short one. So do you have any advice for somebody who's at work, they're feeling a little low, and they really need a confidence boost today? What would you say to them?
Do you want to start, Jacob? I think like
Uh,
between both of
yeah.
us, Jacob is the best one giving advice. Like at least he's giving me so much advice. So like how to like feel more confident about my work. And it's like, Jacob, yes, give it to me. I need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, Karina. But I mean, for me, if you're sitting on your desk, you're feeling low, you're feeling not very confident in your abilities and stuff, you just got to think, number one, you're human. You're gonna make mistakes. I've made. I'm just out of university, obviously, starting my journey here at Impact, and mistakes, but you learn from them. That's the biggest thing from them. You have to take something from it. You have to put that positive twist to that mistake you made. Furthermore, another thing is you're at that job for a reason. That person who hired you, whether it be a manager, senior manager, HR, they see something in you. So that's why you're there. They believe that you can perform the best to your ability, and they believe that you can put in a good result, and they believe that you can grow with the firm and make a great impact. So I think that's the best advice I can give to somebody right now that is feeling a little bit low right now. You're there for a reason, and just keep pushing forward. You can do it. Take some chances, and you'll get there.
Completely agree. I think I would tell them there are millions and billions of people out there, and there's only one you. Definitely, there's not going to be another person that can do what you do, the same skills, the same logic, the same heart. They're just like, it's impossible. We're all different. And like Jacob said, like they chose you for a reason. They saw something in you that spark, or maybe just like what you like to do, something about the culture that might just resemble who you are as a person. And that's something to be happy about, something to be grateful about, and just keep going. And everyone has bad days. Like I have them. I know like Jacob might have them, very stressful times, but it is what it is. It's life. And the great thing about it is like again, you're special, and like there are a lot of special people around you. So talk to them, ask them how they're doing, go out and just take a breath and come back and keep going. Because it's the next day and you're probably going to do better the next day. So cheer on.
You too. My cheeks hurt from smiling. I feel like you gave me a professional confidence boost. Honestly, this whole interview, I was just like, this is so good. I feel so good about myself. There is only one me. I really, really appreciate both of you being with us today. I knew you were the right people to talk about this topic. I think it's super important that there are more conversations around this because everybody struggles with their professional confidence at some time or another. And it does really help to know you're not alone. So thank you. We will be back next month with our 5th episode of Impact Insights, the video series. Thank you for joining us, Jacob and Karina, and everybody else. See you next time.